Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special episode of my channel. Today, I want to take you on a little tour of London's South Bank. This is probably the most famous touristy area of London. This is for everybody who has not been to London, who is curious about what Europe and the British Isles may be like. For all of my Indian friends and listeners and people in Asia and around the world, I hope that this is of some entertainment and use to you. And as you can see, we have the view of the Shard, which is currently the tallest building in Western Europe. It's literally a glass shard. It looks a little bit like Sauron's tower in Lord of the Rings. I'm not sure why. It's a bit of a statement. But that is literally what current high-rise technology architecture looks like in the West, in Europe. It's a very curious building. I used to work up there at one time as a tour guide, believe it or not, at the view at the very top. And we had an excellent view of the whole of London, and it's quite an experience. So if you ever want to come, take a look. And we're going to look around a little bit here. You can see you've got the River Thames itself, and it's still quite ancient down at the base and the beach there. And we're going to speed up this walk here. A lot of people, a lot of characters, but as you can see, London is so dense with people that it's almost impossible to deal with this. Famous London bus there. And here we have Southwark Cathedral, Shakespeare's cathedral, his local. This is where his brother's buried, and it's a very ancient building. It would have been a church back in the Roman era, and before that maybe it would have been perhaps the site of a temple, a Roman temple of some sort. It may have been a holy site even before that. And we have Borough Market here, which is an incredible site of many international cuisines. Everybody comes here to chill out and play. At a certain point of the evening, like this, when I'm filming, it's dead quiet compared to how it usually is, which is bustling with stalls and all types of treats and meats and cakes. And it's a bit of a building site there, but we have the cathedral. It's very large. Very nice little bakery there, and you can actually learn to treat bread and to make loaves. You have the grounds of the cathedral, quite stunning little place. Beautiful to walk in. They literally have street level views of the former Roman and Victorian street levels in the building. It's an active cathedral. Got a nice little pub there. Look at that. 1,000 years of worship. Incredible. Convent, priory, all sorts. So much building work going on in London. It never ends. There's the ancient and there's the new. It's quite a strange city for that. Look at my fingers blocking the view. Ugh. So many people. It's overwhelming, if I'm honest. Tourists and locals. And there, look at this. This is the Golden Hind. It's a replica of the original, but this was Drake's ship. Drake, Francis Drake, would have sailed this ship with Queen Elizabeth's support, financial and political, in order to break the Spanish and Portuguese monopoly of the global system. And what the Golden Hind did was to actually circumnavigate the globe, which was a huge achievement at the time. And as you can see, it's not a large ship at all. It's actually quite small. And this literally sailed the Atlantic, the Pacific, and there were many discoveries made. So this is quite an interesting area. It would have been docked around here. You've got this beautiful site, which was Winchester Palace. It was a 12th century bishop's palace. Shows the power of the church at that time. It served as the London townhouse of the bishops of Winchester, and it was located in Southwark. It was on the South Bank. It's now on Clink Street in the London Borough of Southwark near St Saviour's Church. And take from this what you will, but apparently at the time the bishops ran the local sex trade, which is a surprising piece of information. Quite a beautiful site. It's quite tastefully done, this area. It's quite privileged, really. And obviously there's a lot of tourism that goes on here. There's a lot of beautiful food stalls and different things that we have here. It's really stunning. I particularly like the Italian ice cream. There's also apparently a date stall that does all sorts of Middle Eastern and North African dates with different garnishes, and there used to be an exotic meat shop there which did literally everything, and I don't want to offend vegetarians, but it had the whole animal kingdom virtually. Look at this. This is the Clink Museum. This would have been a prison back in the day, and so they made a show of educating the public and taking them on tours of what kind of gruesome experiences people had in the Middle Ages here, which was a very different time, as you can imagine. A lot of this has been redeveloped over the recent years, so it is sort of unrecognisable even to me after a short distance away. We have this beautiful pub here, the Anchor, which is a lovely pub on the South Bank. You would love it. Very popular with tourists. As you can see, they do real traditional ales and all sorts. Tourists go crazy for it. More building work. It's insane. It actually makes London quite ugly, in my opinion. What's the point? It's just, are you doing it for the public or are you doing it for private investment? Loads of people enjoying the sunshine. I'm using this as a soapbox now, aren't I? Look at that. You've got the financial area there. You've got the South Bank. You've got St Paul's, which we'll look at in a second. Just so many people. It's unbelievable. People on dates. Quite a grubby river, as you can see. Even on a sunny day now, it looks a little bit downcast, doesn't it? Really old bridges. We passed by London Bridge. And here we are, look at this. Now we're in the old theatre district, and you can just get a sense. So much of this has been redeveloped, but you can just get a sense of the old London. These foundations are hundreds of years old. You've got this wrecked old beach with pottery and bones and all sorts of stuff that people constantly sort through. You've got some nice restaurant bits here, and you've got in the distance St Paul's Cathedral, the famous cathedral which used to be the tallest building in London, nay the UK, and it survived miraculously the war. It wasn't touched by a single German bomb. And you've got some little tours there. It's a dainty little city, isn't it? Probably 14 or 15 million people in it. And this is quite a comforting place to visit, really, in my opinion. Gorgeous. Designed by Sir Christopher Wren several hundred years ago after the Great Fire of London, and it was a monument really to the resurrection, like a phoenix, of London from the flames and the ashes. And now we have the Globe Theatre. What a wonderful site. Shakespeare's Globe. This is not the original site of the Globe. The original site of the Globe is just a little bit down this street on the left, which I'll show you now. You've got the Sam Wanamaker Playhouse, which is a smaller playhouse. Down there on the left would have been where the original Globe was, alongside the Marlowe's Rose Theatre. So this was redeveloped. It was campaigned for and funded by an actor called Sam Wanamaker, whose daughter was in the Harry Potter films, Zoe Wanamaker. We've got a nice bar, the Swan Bar, for the actors and the audiences. And we've got a replica of the original Globe, just hanging out, with thatched roof, original wattle and daub, original design, building specs. Stunning little thing. Houses a few hundred people. People can stand and watch. It's open air. We've got the nice restaurant bar up there. Patrons hanging out. Cool. You have little tours they do and on bikes and things like that. Lovely, lovely at sight. And I've worked in the Sam Wanamaker. I haven't acted in the Globe yet. You can see one of the entrances. You can see the interior. Isn't it stunning? Yes. I love it. Great one for the arts. We have a beautiful part of the South Bank coming up now. This is probably my favourite part of the South Bank. It's so dainty and old. And actually one of, was it Henry VIII's wives has a place here that's still there, right next to the Globe. This is a lovely view. The banks of the river, the transport boats, tour boats. We've got this strange sort of shaped finance building ahead, and just to our left here, well, I'll show you first. Here we have the Millennium Bridge, which features in Harry Potter. Actually, it's a wobbly bridge. They've fixed it now, but I remember Harry's nemesis, they attack this bridge, don't they, as part of a terrorist attack on London. Quite a strange concept. And then you've got the Tate Modern here. Look at this. Absolutely incredible building. It used to be a factory of some sort. They turned it into a modern art building with all sorts of exhibits and things. Quite a beautiful place, really. A strange mix of things, old and new again. Quite a sort of stark metal construction, isn't it? But it's a nice footbridge to St. Paul's directly through. Very cute. Lovely swan there. They're natural to the river, they just hang out. We've got people on their holidays, people going for a drink, people going for a walk or a date. It's quite a chilled out area, really. Just packed with people. It's so crazy. here we have, this is Blackfriars Bridge, which is also a train station on the bridge. It's quite a curious thing. The train platforms are on the bridge, whereas much of the transport system is underground. And so we have the old and the new again, just hanging out. The old iron girders. So this is a walk you can literally take from much of the east of London all the way, in theory, as far west as you want, out of London itself. And we have people chilling out. This is a lovely area with these lamps. And we've got just so many restaurants and businesses on the South Bank. So much of it's been developed. People come jogging. The Oxo Tower, another former sort of industrial purpose building which has been repurposed as a nice, actually sort of cooperative housing situation for people. Look at that. We can see all the way to Westminster, the West End of London. Lovely birds, ducks, all sorts. And this is like a beach. We've literally got a dude chilling out. Isn't that cool? Families, food. It's very nice in the summertime. And in the distance there is Westminster Bridge. And this is the start of West End Theatreland. But ahead of us here on the left, we have, you guessed it, the National Theatre, which we'll see shortly. And here it is, the beautiful National Theatre, a giant testament to post-war Britain's ability to recreate itself and to make a theatre fit for a new public, really. It's a great little thing. And that is the end of this short tour, really. I didn't want to show you too much. We've got beyond the National Theatre the British Film Institute, which is a wonderful centre and venue for all sorts of films that they show in, classics and modern. It's a great area. I would recommend it for everybody visiting. If you have any questions, please put them below and I can do more tours for you guys of other parts of London if you like. Thank you so much. I'd love your feedback and your ideas and your impressions of what you've seen of London. All right, thank you all. Much love.